Is from the Mean Girls. It's not the Mean Girls, it's Mean Girls. We can get that recorded. You just gonna stare at me? We just got this game.
Sideways. Just leave that in there, go ahead. Like, as you're chilling me. Okay. Come.
Welcome back to our channel.
I'm Allan.
And I'm Jess.
And this is Kiara.
And we are
Bored Together.
We're so glad to have you back here with us.
Today we're going to go through our entire game collection and we're going to take the games down square by square and highlight a few of the games that we have been playing recently. So this first set of games are all Harry Potter themed, so they're various games that we have in our first shelf. Ironic enough, we haven't opened any of them. They are games that either we're excited to play or that we've had, and just because they're Harry Potter themed, I've been saving them in the packaging. So the first game we have is Loteria, which is a Mexican card game, Harry Potter edition, which Jess actually got me for Christmas. Then we have the three Harry Potter Funkoverse sets. Two are entire full sets, and then the one is just the expansion. We haven't played any of the Funkoverse games, but we're actually very excited. The only issue is that we know that if we enjoy it, we're gonna end up buying probably all the expansions because there's so many. So we're trying to both play it but avoid going broke. Then we have a Wizards chess set, but it's sealed. I've had this for about maybe 6 years, seven years. I wasn't trying to open it, but now that we're getting more into our board games and having a bigger collection, I think we're gonna do an unboxing of it at some point. And I'm gonna try to teach Jess chess. We were just talking about getting an entry-level chess set to kind of teach her because she doesn't know how to play chess. And then the last one is, in English, it's called Ludo. I know this game, it's a Colombian game called Parques that we've played with the family many times, and we found it in a Harry Potter edition as well. So this is the first cube, which is all Harry Potter related, so we're gonna move on to the second one.
The first game in our next cube is a game that I'm really excited for, and it's a Goofy movie game. We just bought this game this weekend, and so we have not played it yet, but I am really looking forward to it. The next game is Wavelength, and this is a super fun game to play with a group of people. We have played this once already, but we've watched so many gameplays of it.
Yeah, many different people on YouTube.
The next one is Dream Crush. Dream Crush is a fun party game to see how well you know your friends and how they would decide their love life. You are given scenarios with potential dates, and it is your job to try to figure out who your friends would pick going through the different rounds and potential deal breakers. It's lots of fun to explain why you picked the person you did and listen to the reasonings your friends chose to.
The final game in this cube is Downforce, along with the two expansions. I believe those are the only expansions it has currently. Downforce is both a combination of a strategic game and a bit of gambling and luck, where you have to decide what car is going to win the entire race, but also you move based on the cards you have in your hand as to either help yourself and see who will end first. Both of the expansions allow for extra cards and different obstacles to try to maneuver around while playing the game. For this next set of games, we're going to be talking about all of our villainous games, and currently we have all the expansions of all the sets that are currently offered. This is the Marvel set, which we haven't played or touched at all yet. From what we've learned and what we've gathered, it's very similar to the Disney side of villainous, obviously with just different characters, but like I said, currently we just haven't played it.
And then we have our current favorite game, Disney Villainous. Villainous offers a variety of playing options, which is why we have been enjoying it so much lately. It can be played in tournament style, like you will see in a lot of our Villainous videos, We have purchased a lot of upgrades for this game, which we will talk about in our other videos as well. You get to pick a villain, and each villain board has locations from the movies, along with allies, heroes, and other Easter eggs from the movies that are fun to point out. You're trying to complete your villain's personal objectives while your opponent is trying to use heroes and their abilities to foil you.
So for our next shelf, the first game we have is a Ravensburger game, Danger, the Jurassic Park game. We played it once, or we attempted to play it once. I think we're just confused, honestly, because we were struggling trying to even really play it, right?
I think we also needed more people.
I think this was one of those where we just picked it up because it was Jurassic Park and it was a board game. So we're gonna come back to it and hopefully we learn to play it a little better. Next we have Pandemic, which is a very classic game for a lot of board gamers. They recommend it as a nice entry-level game. But we played this for the first time with a couple of our friends, Theo and Emma, and they introduced us to this game along with a couple other games that we're about to show you guys. So we haven't played it again since that time, but we loved it. So we're probably gonna be playing this very soon.
The next game on the shelf is Universal Studios Monsters Horrified. In this cooperative game, you and your team are trying to hunt and destroy the monsters before they find you or the unexpected villagers. Each player's turn is broken up into two phases, the hero phase and the monster phase. It is important to make the most of each turn because there is a limited amount of turns indicated by the monster phase cards. If you are unlucky and get attacked by a monster, or if a defenseless villager is attacked, your terror meter goes up. Game ends if you reach max terror. Game can be played as a solo game or up to 6 players. There are 6 different monsters to choose between, so there is a number of variations to keep this game fresh.
Our next game is Horrified, just a different edition. These are the American monsters. This was also given to us as a gift from Emma and Theo, so thank you as a Christmas gift. This one we've only played once. We're gonna try to play it some more because I think it was Bigfoot that gave us trouble, right?
So much trouble.
With the way that he's played. It's very different from these monsters, but the character cards and the abilities are the same. And then the mechanics of the game are the same. It's just the different locations and then the way that each monster is played. The last game on this shelf is Betrayal at the House on the Hill. This is the 3rd edition. When I bought it, I didn't realize it was the 3rd edition, so we've never played, well, we haven't played this one, and we definitely haven't played the 2nd or 1st edition. I have seen a lot of videos on the game, so I have a rough idea. So hopefully we get to play it soon. It looks very interesting. The various times we've been to like Target to see, it's been something we wanted to pick up. So we did, we just need to get enough people to play it now. So hopefully soon.
The next 2 cubes that we're going to be looking at are definitely more of our party games and games that we just really enjoy playing with more than just the 2 of us.
Yes. So we'll start with Trial by Trolley. You're trying to convince the conductor to run the other track of the opposing team, so that way you don't kill the people that are on your track and you instead kill the people or whatever it might be on the other team's track. So if you're open to darker humored games and playing with other people,
this is a game for you.
yeah, this is definitely a game for you. It's funny and it's a fun time. It takes a little bit to get into at first.
The next game is The Mole, and this is one that we have had for a very long time and have not played. We have recently seen a lot of videos on this and are very interested in playing it. Our next game is Burn Book from Mean Girls. A must-have for Wednesday game night with your closest friends, but watch out for those frenemies. Secretly, the group answers questions about each other. Once all questions have been answered, the person next to you reads the wild answers written about you. You pick the response you find the funniest, considering they are all probably a diss at you, and attempt to figure out who wrote the burn about you. Get your toaster strudels ready and be prepared to be personally victimized by Regina George.
Next we have 2 versions of Codenames, the regular Codenames and the duet version, which I don't think we played the duet version yet. We really do enjoy this game and hopefully we can play Codenames Duet here soon. Next up we have the Chameleon, which has become a very favorite family game. It is a social deduction type game where one person is considered the chameleon. Everybody else is given a secret word that we have to give a clue for going around the table. And the chameleon's main objective is just to try to blend in. We're gonna be doing a TikTok specifically to this, so if you're interested to see exactly how this game is played, hop over to our TikTok at boardtogether_. And the last game we have on this shelf is Game of Ham. This was a game that we bought at AwesomeCon last year, right? This game is a combination of just a regular board game where you're trying to move throughout the board, and then Cards Against Humanity. And it's a very cruel and dark humored game as well. A bunch of the games on the next shelf we haven't played or opened, so these might seem like we're running through them a little quicker. $1 Million Script is a game we just picked up to play, hopefully with her dad, where you make your own script for a movie based on different cards and scenarios and people.
The next game on the shelf is Priorities, and that's a game where you just get to try to figure out how the people you're playing with would rate certain things.
Doomlings is a game that Jess bought a while ago because she saw TikToks on it. I don't think she really knows how to play the game or remembers how to play the game.
No clue.
They ask you how you are, you just have to say that you're fine, and you're not really fine, but you just can't get into it because they would never.
What it really is about, so we'll look more into this one for sure. Next we have Samesies, which is a card game, another party game as well, where you're trying to give one word or a phrase that could fit two different scenarios.
The next game is Letter Jam. Letter Jam is a game that we played with some friends one morning, and I really enjoyed it, and unfortunately, we have not played it since.
The next game we have is Incoherent, this is the not safe for work edition, so definitely mature content. But basically they give you words with a hint, and one person holds up the card and it has a word or phrase.
That's like it's phonetically spelled.
Yeah, like sounded out, but it's not correctly written. So you gotta just determine and find out what the phrase or word is.
The next game is That's a Question, and this is a game that I actually bought to play with my family, and my grandma really enjoyed it. You get two questions, and you have to guess which way they would pick with the two categories.
Next we have Alice is Missing, and this is one I'm super excited to play. We just, when I bought it, we haven't had people over to play it yet. It's a role-playing game, which we haven't played one yet. You're trying to solve a mystery of what happened to Alice. Everyone's given a different character. The caveat and the catch is that you only play by texting each other. You cannot speak. So you make a group chat and then you can text different people individually to gain information as it goes through rounds, and we're just super excited to play it. So next we have a card game, which is Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza. Everyone gets a full deck of cards split up between however many players there are. And the point of the game is that you put down a card and everyone says Taco Cat Goat Cheese Pizza in order. Exactly in that order. And as you go around and someone puts the same card that they are saying, everyone has to go in and slap the middle of the table on top of the cards. The last person to slap the cards or put their hand there collects all the cards. The point of the game is to end the game with no cards and win, but there's also some different elements added into it, so if you play it, it's a really fun, quick party game and very small, so you don't have to worry about lugging around so much to play it. So next we have Gen Smack, which was a TikTok purchase, again, from Jessica. A lot of our purchases are either land-ins, Theo and Emma showed us, or TikTok, so we really don't have minds of our own usually here. But this is a trivia game that we bought to play with her family mainly. You go around various generations, as it says, and you're trying to collect, I think 10 cards in total, but there has to be one from the different 5 generations at minimum in order to win the game. So it's super fun, but it really does test your knowledge on various decades. This is a purchase that we bought yesterday. It's called Parks. It looked cute. We know nothing about the game, so hopefully, I've heard that it's a good game. I haven't seen any gameplay on it, but the artwork looks really nice.
Our last game in this cube is Not So Neighborly. This is a game that again was found on TikTok.
Oh yeah, it was.
And we have really enjoyed it. We've bought an expansion for it. We've bought playing mat for it.
Even card sleeves, which we don't like card sleeves, and we have card sleeves.
Really enjoy this game, and we enjoy it so much that this was my first TikTok review, which you can go check out.
Down below here, probably. So we're gonna start with Deep Sea Adventure on our next shelf, and Jessica can talk about it.
This is a game that I purchased months ago, and I have been asking everybody to play, and it remains untouched.
We just have other games that prioritize. Next up we have One Night Ultimate Werewolf. Our edition is completely sealed still, but we played this at a game cafe for the first time when we first met Landon. And I think you met Jackie that night too, right? Jessica was really bad at the game, and where you're not supposed to tell people who the werewolf, if you're the werewolf. The first night, everyone woke up and she's like, "Oh, I'm the werewolf, what'd I do?" But we just haven't had a chance to play this with all the other games that we obviously have, but we had a really good time playing this when we did, so we're excited to have that. Thanks, Landon.
Thanks, Landon. Thanks, Landon. Thanks, Landon.
This is another Landon.
The next game that we're going to talk about is Pebble Rock Delivery Service, and this is a game that we just bought yesterday as well. The only reason we bought it is because I went into the store with the intent to grab a game that I wouldn't normally pick up off the shelves, and I picked this one up, and I thought it was really, really cute.
We'll learn about the game and hopefully have a good time with it. The next game we have is Marvel Dice Throne. This was a game given to Jess by Landon for Christmas. So again, thank you, Landon. Looks like that's how we're saying this video. But we haven't played any of the Dice Throne games at all. We're super excited. We actually got our own personal dice towers, mini dice towers. So hopefully we get to play this. And then I know there's a lot of expansions, not only for Marvel, but I know that Dice Throne has a tremendous lineup for their library, so hopefully we get to get into those as well.
The next game we're going to talk about is The Goonies Never Say Die by Funko. And this is a game that I was really excited about because The Goonies I hold very near and dear to my heart. It's one of my favorite movies. But
we struggled. We looked up a game video, and it was like a 45-minute video, and then we went to unbox it, and we looked at the components.
It's a very massive game inside, lots of pieces.
For us it is, because we're not used to playing games with like grandmasters and such, so we're new in that aspect. We haven't played like Dungeons and Dragons, and at least to us this is what that feels similar to. We just felt super overwhelmed with it, so unfortunately it's kind of just been sitting on our shelf so far.
We'll get to it.
So last on this shelf is a Game of Thrones, the board game. This is the expansion of Mother of Dragons, and then the actual game, I want to say this is a second edition. Yeah, second edition. It's sealed. I haven't played it, and to be honest, I haven't really looked into it either. I do know though it could be up to like I think like a 6 to 10 hour game or something like that. It's quite an extensive game.
This is definitely another one of those games that we bought simply because we really enjoy the fandom.
Yeah, we really enjoy Game of Thrones a lot, so we bought it. Well, I bought it specifically for that. But again, we hope to learn the game a little better and get to the point where we feel comfortable playing it, because we really enjoy the theming and it looks amazing from what we've been seeing. So to start off, we have 3 different versions of Clue. We have Brooklyn Nine-Nine, Game of Thrones, and Harry Potter, of course. The next game we bought just, yesterday?
Yesterday.
Was Wingspan. We looked it up online and we liked it. We hear it's a very popular and a very fun game as well, but we haven't played it yet. As you can see, it just came in for us. The last game on this shelf is Everdell, another game that we've been hearing an immense amount of positive reviews, and that it's the top game for a lot of people, and it's their #1 for lifetime. To the point where I wanted to buy the complete edition for $350 on Amazon just because it looked cool. But we're gonna try to learn. This is the very first base game, I believe. Yeah, just the base game. So we're gonna hopefully take the time to learn. This is another one where it looks like it has a lot of beautiful artwork, and it's just a different game than what we're used to playing ourselves. So we're gonna learn to play this, and then if we enjoy it enough, we're gonna go ahead and move on and probably get the complete edition instead of buying all the expansions separately. So next up we have Ticket to Ride Rails and Sails. This one we haven't played yet, but we did open it up. This one looked different than the other Ticket to Rides because it includes boats and ferries, I believe. So it's just a different way to play.
All 7 continents are on there.
Correct, yeah, exactly. It includes the world map. But Theo and Emma introduced us to Ticket to Ride. So after we played the American edition, we played the Europe edition, and we came home and purchased this. It looks massive. Well, it's a bigger box than most. The 15th anniversary edition, so like the deluxe edition of Ticket to Ride Europe, and it includes like upgraded trains and the little stations,
to hold them in.
Containers. They're heavier, which is why the box is big. But we really enjoyed this game a lot more than we thought we would. At first, it was a little confusing. We actually hope in the future to own every single edition of Ticket to Ride, but there's just a lot of them, so we're taking our time, well, maybe not taking our time, but trying to get all the other ones in our collection. So
the next game we're going to talk about in our collection is the Pokemon Master Trainer game. This is a game that I got for my birthday when I was probably 4. So this is an original copy of the game.
It's really torn up, but it's
you can tell
years.
that it was definitely played and loved over the years. And this game is just such a nostalgia feel, and definitely a fun game to play. You get to go through all of the locations in the original Pokemon.
The Kanto region to catch various Pokemon.
The final game that we are going to show is Telestrations, and this is the 12-player party pack. We play this game so much when we get together with Allan's family.
Which is why we bought the 12-player pack, because the normal one I think brings 6 or even 8.
It just isn't enough.
And then we also have a not safe for work, like after dark edition, which we couldn't find the box for. So.
But this game is the game of telephone pretty much for drawing, and it is a party favorite for all ages. We play from ages 12 to 50 plus. So
that was basically our entire board game collection. We do have about 6 to 7 different versions of Monopoly that we didn't show, and a handful of editions of Life as well, because that's Jessica's favorite game, and Monopoly is pretty much my favorite game as well. But aside from that, we have a handful of family-oriented games and card games that we just didn't get a chance to show you guys, but we will be doing content specifically for that. And then Jessica will also be posting various games on TikTok. So if you guys haven't followed our socials, they will be down here below.
Thanks so much for hanging out with us, and we hope that you join us again next week for our next upload on Monday.
And if you guys are doing your own versions of your own collections or videos, or even just a picture, feel free to send it to us, whether that's on Twitter. We hopefully will start streaming on Twitch. Maybe within the next month or 2. We're still trying to work out how we can do it in the space that we're in.
The logistics.
Yeah, and then also, like I said, on TikTok, go ahead and send us that, because we love watching through and seeing other people's collections and give us inspiration to spend.
And organization.
Until next time, guys, thank you, and see you guys next Monday.